Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the absolutely WSL and Championship show. However, this week we have an international football special, but I definitely couldn't do it alone because there have been so many matches and competitions and qualifiers and everything in between. I've got this fantastic team with me tonight. So, Danny, how are you? How's your week been?
Yeah, good. Thanks. How are you? Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, good. Not too bad, thank you. Went international with the shirts this week.
Nice. That's nice.
How many I can fit on the door as we go across. I'm going to have to get a rail, I think, around on the other side.
Is one going to fall off in true style, though, halfway through?
Yeah. Just for Paul, there's one actually, England one, is hanging on by a thread. So we'll see. We'll do Paul for that one. Chloe, how are you this evening?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I've just been packing. I'm going on a uni trip to London tomorrow, so just trying to get everything packed, everything sorted before heading off.
Exciting. What are you going to be doing?
We're just going to look around some of like the big newsrooms, so like Sky Sports, The Independent, BBC Sports, and just have a look, see where hopefully we'll be working one day. It's quite exciting.
Very cool. Can you fit me in your backpack to kind of
Of course.
That'd be quite cool. Yeah, I'm only little. I'll fit. And making her introduction to the podcast, we've got the lovely Rosie. Rosie, how are you? And welcome.
I'm good. I'm very excited to be here. Bit nervous, but hopefully it'll go well.
Of course it'll go well. And if it doesn't, we're all a bit silly. We'll all have a bit of fun. And that's what the show is all about in the end. So thank you to everyone who is in the chat already. We've got Spenny Fan Chris. Good evening, good evening, good evening. We've got Johnny. Hello, good evening. Rose Talks Ball. Thank you very much for joining us. We've got our lovely Josh in here. And Simon and Lossie and everyone, thank you very much. And Rosie, lots of love coming in for you already with that one. Perfect. Well, we are in for a brilliant show. I just know we are now. There's been a lot of competitions. And I think, Danny, we were saying earlier, weren't we? Kind of international break. We thought, it might be a bit slower, fewer matches to talk through. But actually, there's been a lot going on.
Yeah, there's been loads going on all around the world, as you would in international break. But you kind of live in a bubble sometimes, don't you? And think, it's just England playing, or it's just the team that you support playing. But Freya, you sent a list through yesterday of all the competitions that were going on to have a look at, and I was like, this is mad. But at the same time, quite exciting that you get to look at all the different competitions, all the different ways people can get to the Olympics and out the Olympics and off the side somewhere. And there's qualifiers for everything, qualifiers for qualifiers at the minute, and things like that. So it's exciting times, but a lot going on.
Absolutely. And things like invitationals, like the Pinatar Cup that was happening.
Yes.
We've got just everything, just really random tournaments going on. But there's then that conversation of, should we give certain players a rest? Are these invitational matches on the grand scheme of things? How important are they? But we'll get to them. We'll come across them in time. Now, I think let's go Pinatar Cup first, because that was a nice little invitational. So let's get that one. So this was an invitational funnily enough, in the Pinatar Arena in Spain. And it was Scotland, Finland, Slovenia, and the Philippines. Now, it was quite tricky to get the links for these ones. I don't know if anyone managed to find them to watch any highlights.
I saw a couple of them. Yeah, it was very windy by the looks of it. Maybe that's why you couldn't find any links, because the wind's just blown all the links away from it. But I saw some of the highlights of the stuff, particularly the Scotland game. Martha Thomas getting her double. She's been having such a great season with Spurs and adding to it on the international scene as well. I think they've had a bit of a struggle against Philippines last time, Scotland, so it's good to see them go and beat them in what was, basically it's 4 teams in a semi-final and a final, wasn't it? This competition.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a round robin or anything, but so Scotland beating Philippines to reach a final. Yeah, well done to them. Thomas, I think she got taken off at half time as well, Thomas, so that she'll be a little bit disappointed with that, not to go and get the hat trick. But then Kirsty Hansen, who you'll be very familiar with, hit the bar at the end. But
she did.
Great effort that was as well. So good to see that.
Yeah, no, it was brilliant. It's nice, I think, for these countries as well to have to be in a competition where they can compete and they're with countries that are of a similar ilk. So it is exciting right till the end, and it's not a complete walkover, as we've seen with some of the scores throughout the week. So from a Villa perspective, Kirsty Hansen and Rachel Corsie were playing in that one, and it went to penalties right at the end, and it was Scotland-Finland, 1-1 it finished. And unfortunately, Scotland just missed out 4-5 on pens in the end.
Yeah, it was Erin Cuthbert missed, didn't she? It was her and I can't remember who else missed, but Erin Cuthbert missed right at the end. That she could have, I think, won it. I love Erin Cuthbert. We talked about the Tony Duggan fan club on here a few times. I'm a paid-up member of the Erin Cuthbert fan club because she just makes everything around a tick, and she sometimes goes unnoticed, but she's such a heartbeat of every team she's in, and I love her as a player. I'm so sad to see her miss that penalty. I'm sure it's not going to weigh too heavily on her, but yeah, gutted to see her miss that. But yeah, Finland took it amazingly. I didn't see any trophies celebrations. I didn't stick around for that, but yeah, well done Finland.
Yeah, because Rosie, from a Chelsea perspective, kind of Erin Cuthbert is just a complete phenomenon on the pitch, isn't she? Like, her work rate is just brilliant. So is it really good to see her excelling as much as she can for her country as well?
I mean, yeah, it's difficult because countries like Scotland, I mean, Sophie Ingle plays for Wales as well, they don't really get an opportunity to show that. So I'm glad that Erin has had this tournament with Scotland. But yeah, gutting to see her miss that.
Yeah, it was just, they got right to that final bit, didn't they, in that Pinatar Cup. So yes, and Spenny Frank Chris is on the case. Philippines lost 1-0 in the third place playoff to Slovenia. So thank you very much for that, Chris. So Slovenia got third place.
There was quite a funny bit in the final as well. Erin Cuthbert, she mouthed something over to the bench, something like "that's not the game plan" or something. There was a really bit of confusion between the bench and the playoffs, and she shouted something at the bench, something like, "Yeah, there's something wrong with it," or "that's not what we're supposed to be doing," or something like that. I don't know if anybody in the chat saw that or knows what she said, but there was definitely something happened there. But they got themselves together and obviously got back in the game.
Yeah, and that's the thing, isn't it? How, because we always talk about players trying to have that initiative on the pitch, and if the game plan's not working, to change it up and that kind of thing. But to physically kind of do that and be like, "Oi,
that's not what we're doing."
Yeah, like, come on, up your game. We need to be in this, absolutely. But yeah, it was great to see Martha Thomas back on her scoring streak, as it were, because she had a brilliant start to the season. So hopefully, when she gets back to club, that'll be continuing for her. Now, again, so many competitions. Where should we go next? Anyone want to volunteer?
Oh, which part of the world should we go to next?
Should we go CONCACAF?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, so this is the CONCACAF Women's Gold Cup, which is a brilliant tongue twister to be able to say. Lots of C's and F's, and I think we were talking about in the chat as well, kind of everything's a ACF, a CAF, a CONCACAF, and kind of all these letters in between. So it was hard to try and pin down what we were all talking about. And the massive shocker for this one was that Mexico beats, and it's the second one down there, Mexico beat the USA 2-0. Now, I don't know if anyone caught the highlights for that one, but you couldn't even argue with those two goals. They were absolute rockets. Did anyone manage to see them?
Yeah, I caught up with the highlights, and honestly, the goals were amazing. Like, you cannot fault Mexico at all, but Emma Hayes has got a lot to do with that club when she turns up, because honestly, like, they went from like up here to just not like down here, and this is one of like the best clubs, or meant to be one of the best clubs in the world for USA. Like, they've won countless World Cups and countless trophies, and they're just not performing the way that we know they can. So it was a huge shock. It was a huge shock waking up and seeing that scoreline, like, oh, what's going on there?
Yeah, because I think the way Mexico have been playing, like, they always come out of that fight, don't they? And that fire. And you thought, okay, well, if they could go against the USA at any point, now was probably the time. And Danny, what do you think? I don't know kind of how many of the players kind of you're familiar with in that, but it felt like there wasn't that much flow between the team. And it seems like there's something been lacking for quite a while now.
Yeah, there's just something not quite right, isn't there, about the team? Whether it's they're changing too much or whether they know that Emma Hayes is around the corner and they're not just putting it in at the minute, but they just don't look anything near what they were before or what they have been, what we expect of them. You look at the two teams, Mexico, looked a more together team. Like their play, their fluidity, their interchange of positions. They got the goals they scored were incredible. Both goals, superb goals. And it's just, it almost makes you happy to see the US like that, but then at the same time it's like, oh, it's a team that's fallen, and Emma Hayes has got a huge job on her hands to turn around the mentality and to get them back where, potentially some countries need that. Sometimes they need a little bit of a dip in order to come back again, and it feels like the US are in this patch at the minute, with the World Cup show and with this as well. And we know what Emma Hayes is capable of, so don't bet against her, and it's going to come again for them. But we'll talk about some other of the European teams later on that have overtaken them for sure. Big time job to do for Emma.
Absolutely. And it felt like for a long time the US national team were very athletic, they were very physical, and almost that made up for, I don't want to say a lack of skill, but a certain lack of like European flair, as it were. So when it came to like that technicality, they could almost beat everyone on their athleticism alone. And for a long time that worked, didn't it? So with them in this bit of a rut, and we've had like Megan Rapinoe retiring, and Alex Morgan wasn't in the squad, then she was in the squad. Rosie, from a Chelsea perspective, how's Emma Hayes as a coach, as a manager, how's she going to whip them into shape, do you think? What's she gonna bring?
Well, we know she's just no nonsense, isn't she? She won't take anything. She'll, definitely give them a talking to.
Yeah, and I think almost you can get complacent, can't you?
Yeah.
I
was so gutted that she's leaving, but if anyone can turn the US team around, it's her.
Absolutely. And what a job to leave Chelsea for. I think we all think it had to have been a big job to get to leave the club, wouldn't it? So watch this space for what she does with the US national team. And again, just putting that back on the screen there. So we've got Mexico tops Group A, followed by the United States. Then we've got Group B. We've got Canada and Costa Rica are currently leading. Now, they've only played 2 matches out of 3, so there's still one. I think it's tonight. So if anyone wants to stay up late, 11 o'clock, I think BST, Canada are playing. So far, they've got the most clean sheets out of anyone in the competition. And Adriana Leon of Villa fame is the top scorer. So really proud of her. She got a brace in the first match against, let me have a look, El Salvador, that was it. Scored twice. And then when it was against Paraguay, we all kind of went, she's going to get a hat-trick. She's going to do it. And she did. She got a hat-trick. So she is on incredible scoring form for this one. So again, someone who she's going to miss the game against Liverpool, I believe. But hopefully when she comes back, she can use that fire. And I think that's what we really want to see, isn't it? Those players getting that confidence, like we said with Martha Thomas, and just bringing that back to club to be the highest level of themselves. So again, more CONCACAF. We've also got, so it's groups A, B, and C. And I believe today it's going to signify who's in the quarterfinals. And then that keeps going until the 11th of March, I believe, is the final. So if you've got any players from the WSL/Championship, you are going to be missing them until the 11th of March, unfortunately. But we will keep our fingers crossed that they come back safe, unharmed, and on their best form as well. So yes, that's a brand new competition, the CONCACAF Women's Gold Cup. It was called the Women's Championship. Did some research earlier. And Chloe, we were saying it was really hard to find anything about this tournament and how it started, how it's going. So it was the Women's Championship and it was an Olympic qualifier, but now it's branded as an elite competition for those countries to have more international matches and to keep their tactics and techniques fresh as a team. So that was the CONCACAF, and I can stop saying that now. There we go, because we finished it.
I was just looking at how the rankings work out, because it's not like the traditional first place, second place, first in the quarterfinals. They seem to work out in a ranking system, so it's how many points you've got in the group. So it looks like the US may face Colombia in the quarterfinals, which won't be easy in itself. Ooh. So that could be a fun game. It's in America as well, all of this. So again, they're not going to be wanting to drop their standards on home soil either, are they? So interesting times. I might keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think some of the matches are in Texas, some are in California. And I was looking online, and a lot of the comments were saying, we didn't even know it was here.
Okay.
And I actually looked, there was still lots of tickets left for tonight. And they were like $15 each, the tickets. And I think it got you in for both matches, because the two on one after the other. So yeah, $15. If anyone's in America, if anyone's watching, get yourselves down there tonight in Houston, and you'll be up for a very good show indeed. And we've got the lovely Halty under there singing our lovely Adriana Leon song to the tune of the conga. So if you ever hear that in the stands, that is what we're singing for Adri. Brilliant. Now let's have a look again. So many competitions. Now, we wanted to mention briefly, didn't we? There's a lot of Olympic qualifiers, there's lots of friendlies, there's lots of invitationals and things like that. So what we can talk about now is, let's get it to the right one. Aha, right. So this is the AFC Olympic qualifiers, which is all about, so it's the Asian Cup, essentially. Now, Australia versus Uzbekistan. Now, for the away leg, Uzbekistan, I was expecting, I don't know, I thought it might have been a walkover, to be honest, this first one. But Uzbekistan did really, really well, keeping Australia at bay until like the 80th minute. Did anyone catch the first leg of that one, the 3-0?
Yeah, I watched it and I had a little gander at it, and honestly, the Tillies took a while to get going. Like, I thought the game would end 0-0 at one point, but they came in and ended up 3-0. I'm very happy that Caitlin Torpey got her debut. I've been kind of keeping an eye on her from afar, where she plays in Australia, and I think she was really good. But the thing that we need to talk about is Michelle Hyman retiring.
Yes, absolutely.
She retired in 2019 and then came back. She scored in this game, but in the next game, which happened this morning, she got a hat-trick. It's like,
yeah, she did.
It's just incredible. But the first leg, it was just amazing. But you also have to ask, like, what will the Matildas do without Sam Kerr? Because she's obviously been like their shining star, and everyone was quite worried about them. But no, they were amazing. Michelle Hyman got a corner and headed it over, which broke the deadlock. It was actually 8 years since her last goal, which again is just
8 years.
like absolutely incredible. And then they scored in less than 10 minutes with Man City's Mary Fowler getting in on the action. And then Caitlin Ford made it 3. So just amazing, and very happy to see Michelle Hyman back.
Because it was almost as if once those goal scoring gates opened, they were like, we've arrived, and now we can relax, and now we can just keep going. So going into the second leg, Danny, what were you expecting for the Matildas that are on home turf this time? How they were clearly frustrated with that lack of urgency in that first half in the away leg. So how do you think they were feeling? Because we'll put the score back up in a minute. But yeah, going into this, what do you think their mindset was for this one?
Yeah, I think it would have been get out of them while you can, seal it, get the job say get to the Olympics, say it sorted kind of thing. Is that a thing? Yeah, and it turns out that's exactly what they did. That they would have been sent out there with a job to do. Go out there, no messing about, and sort them out within the first sort of 15 minutes, half an hour, which is exactly what Heyman did by herself, basically, by scoring a hat trick within 15 minutes. Again, sellout crowd as well. I think it's the 12th sellout in a row at the Marvel Stadium. So obviously the appetite is still there from the Matildas fans, the Aussies fans after the World Cup. The expectation is there again, and the excitement about getting to the Olympics is there still. So we've talked about some of the places that have been hosting games this week, and we just talked about America and not even knowing that a competition's going on. For that to be a sellout for this game is a huge thing, and obviously there'll be, I'd assume we'll see quite a lot of Aussies in Paris over the summer, and it's good to have them there, isn't it? You always like to see them there in a competition. So, and it ended up being, what was it, 10-0 in the end, the second leg. So I think they got the job done. pretty
They
much
did.
done.
They
I mean,
did.
it was about, was it 8 by half time or 7?
Yeah.
Was it 7?
It was,
8?
yeah. So it was 3-0 in the first 8 minutes,
Yeah.
5-0 before half an hour, and yeah, 8-0 at half time, which
Yeah.
was just mad.
It got a couple in the second half. But yeah, I think they'll be among the favourites as well once they get to France. Because
Yeah.
tournament football, they're building their sort of back catalogue of tournaments now, aren't they? And experience in tournaments as a squad. So don't write them off.
Absolutely. And I think it would be weird to not have them at a tournament now, because they seem to have really solidified and cemented themselves as one of the top teams. And I think I looked earlier, I think, are they 12th in the world or something like that, 11th, 12th? And I think Uzbekistan, bless them, are like 47th. So the fact that actually in that first leg, they really held them to those last 10, 15 minutes, I think they should be really proud of themselves. And the fact as well that Uzbekistani goalkeeper got stretched off, didn't she, with an ankle injury. So the fact they had their second choice goalie on, they didn't give up, did they? They couldn't compete. They looked quite tired, and they looked, the fight just seemed to have gone out of them, didn't it, for that second one? And I think when you're that many goals down straight away, you just kind of think, okay, can it be over yet? No extra time, just keep going. But yeah, but fair play to Uzbekistan, they did keep going right until the very end for that one. Okay, so we have Australia at the Olympics as well. Now, I've got a list because there are so many. Okay, so we've got 12 countries altogether for a place in the Olympics. So we've got Australia, and we saw that Japan had won their final. So Australia and Japan are off on the way to the Olympics. We've then got 2 spaces for the African nations, still yet to decide. Now, Danny, I know we were talking about this one. So there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's still 8 countries in with a chance of getting those top 2 spots. And I know you've watched a little bit and tried to see what's happening with them. So does anyone look like they are a shoe in for it, maybe, or even ahead of the pack with this one?
No, I don't think so. I think it's looking like what we got now. So we're down to, let me find my notes. So there's 2 berths basically from Africa to qualify. So there's 4 rounds of 2-legged knockout games to determine the 2 places. So essentially you get to 2 finals, and the winners of those 2 finals go through. I think it's up from 1 last time at Tokyo. So an extra place for Africa, which is always good to see. Zambia are 1-0 up against Ghana from their first leg. Rachel Kundan, I can never say her name. Kudananji, thank you. World's most expensive footballer. I'll just say that. Scored the only goal. Really nice goal to win it for Zambia as well against Ghana. But I don't think the second leg's taken place yet. It might be tonight as well. Morocco 2-1 up against Tunisia from the first leg away from home as well. So it's looking like it'll probably be a Zambia-Morocco final. Zambia were the team that got through last time to the competition, so they'll see themselves as heavy favourites. But on the other side, it's a lot tighter. You've got Nigeria, who scraped through against Cameroon, won 1-0 over 2 legs. It was 0-0 in the first leg, and then Nigeria won the second leg. Big news in the second leg was Randy Waldrum dropped Oshiala for the second leg. So she played in the first leg. She caused quite a lot of problems, but they didn't score. Dropped her for the second leg. In comes Esther I'm going to struggle again. Okoronkwo for the second leg, and inevitably she got the winner. Oshiala did come on in the second half, but it was just that interesting thing again with Waldrum and Oshiala. He dropped her a couple of times at the World Cup, didn't he? And we were all stunned at that and thinking, what on earth are you doing? But it's made it work again, and they've got through to a mini final, whatever you want to call it, against South Africa. And that's going to be a really tight one. South Africa came through 2 legs against Tanzania. 3-0 and 1-0, so a little bit more comfortable for them. But I think that's going to be a really exciting final, Nigeria, South Africa, to see which one goes through. And then you've got the winners of Morocco and Zambia facing one another as well. They're leading at the minute against Ghana and Tunisia, but it'll be the winner of those 2 go through as well. So I think I've made some sense of that. It's South Africa or Nigeria is one game, anyway, that we know of.
No, that sounded great. That was brilliant. And it just shows like there's still so much to play for. And we were saying as well, those finals aren't until April, aren't they?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they're very, very close to the Olympics. So how do you think that'll affect the teams in terms of planning, do you think?
Well, yeah, I think it would. It would have to, wouldn't it? Because I think the actual final squads are about 18 players, so it's not. You've got to narrow it down from what you've got in these games, I think. And so if you suddenly win a final, you're through to the summer. You've got a little bit of time, but there's not a lot when you consider in competitions like the World Cup, the AFCON, the Euros. You've got months and months to prepare and to play friendlies and to try and narrow your squad down and try and get a way of playing in. It's not a lot of time, but yeah, we'll see what happens. It's just the way the calendar works. So I assume that means we're going to have loads of other invitationals and things like that across the world in April as well, just to try and fit things like this in.
Yeah, because we'll come to it when we talk about the rest of the friendlies. But a lot of people thought, oh, the Lionesses aren't in the Olympics, therefore we'll have a quieter summer.
Yeah, exactly. No. We're going to the Pop-Tart Invitational in April now, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, just give them a break. Like they play so well and so hard all of the time for the top leagues, you know,
don't
around
have to play games. Yeah,
they don't have to play. Which, again, I'll save. Hopefully, that memory will come back to me when we talk about the Lionesses and the actual squad. Now, next part was the UEFA Women's National League. National League? No. Different, wrong competition. Nations League, there we go. There was also, for those who didn't make it through, England, and who also didn't qualify for the semi-finals and the finals, there were also the relegation and promotion playoffs as well. So let's get to this one here. Oh no, one before, there we go. So we had leagues A and B, and B and C as well. Now, Sweden were playing earlier because they were a day after everyone else. They were already leading 5-0 on aggregate, so it looked quite promising that they were going to go through, unless Bosnia had a really last-minute surge of goals. The last time I looked, they were winning 3-0, so I'm 99% certain.
Yeah, it's 5 in the end. Yeah.
Oh, it was 5 at the end. Ah, brilliant. I think Sina Blacksinius got a goal as well. So again, hopefully for Arsenal, that will do her in good stead. Did anyone catch any of these playoffs within A and B or B and C? I know Northern Ireland, Simone McGill got a goal, and player of the match as well for that one. But yeah, there were some massive aggregate scores there, 9-0, 7-0. Yeah, anyone with any comments on the promotion relegation?
It's basically, is it essentially what's happened is the team in the higher league has just dominated the other team. It's not really worked, has it?
Yeah, absolutely. So just to kind of oversee that one, then we've got Iceland, Belgium, Norway, Sweden, all stay in League A. And Northern Ireland, Slovakia, and Ukraine have all preserved their League B status as well. Now, I don't know if anyone's ever tried to, and Chris has said it perfectly there, it's far too complicated most of the time, and he is absolutely right. Has anyone ever tried to read the rules of Nations League and how it all works and the format and stuff?
I have, but I just got a bit confused. It's like I don't know what I'm doing.
Because there's the group stages, then there's the league stage, and then there's the finals of each part. So we've got to the first part, and we'll talk about the semi-finals and the final in a moment, which is still going on, a third place spot. But then we all then come back at the next international break for the next stage of the Nations League to do it all again for Euro qualifiers. So Nations League is not over yet, people. We have a lot to talk about still. So let's get on to it, shall we? Now, we had the semi-finals were between France and Germany, Spain and the Netherlands. Now, these two matches had me on the end of my seat. I don't know about anyone else. Danny, did you catch the matches, catch the highlights? What did you make of those semi-finals?
Yeah, I saw the Spain-Netherlands one, which pretty much ended as we expected. I mean, it shows afterwards, Sherida Spitzer, the Netherlands captain, said afterwards something like, Spain were too good for us. They should have been tighter. We didn't do it very well. We didn't get into the match. We should have organised themselves. But essentially, the way that she was speaking, it was like it was almost a foregone conclusion already, which for a team like the Netherlands, you don't want in a semi-final. No matter what you say about a Nations League, it pretty much was Spain taking over all of this competition, was Spain just taking over as the new big boss of women's international football from the USA. This was the changing of the guard, because the way that they've played in both these matches, they're just untouchable at the minute. And the semi-final against Netherlands, just dominated, didn't break through until about the 41st minute. Hermoso scoring, always good to see. And then Bonmati got one just before half-time. Bajé scoring in the 77th minute as well, just to seal it. But just a machine, an absolute machine, Spain are at the minute. They're so good to watch, but at the same time, scary to watch, because at some point we're going to have to beat them to win a competition. England are going to have to put in a performance against Spain to win a competition. They're that good that you just think Olympics, Euros, World Cup for the next sort of round. Each time we play at one of those competitions, Spain seem to have taken over as the standard bearer, and they're just so good.
Absolutely. And just Aitana is just phenomenal.
It's just amazing to watch it. Like, why are you playing for Spain, not England? It's annoying.
Yeah, if you could just get dual nationality, that would be perfect. Chloe, what did you make of the semi-finals?
I thought they were good. I watched them France-Germany, and that was so close. Like, I generally couldn't call it. France were obviously without Wendy Renard, which is always a bit of a concern when she's not playing, because if you've seen her, you're a bit like, oh, because she's just such that like powerhouse, like big built player who's just, she's honestly incredible. The day she retires will just be, I can't even think about it because it's just really sad. But they were good. France got a penalty, which went to like a lengthy VAR review, and that's what won it for them.
Absolutely. Did you see what I thought could have been a penalty for Germany when Diani went in for that tackle and there was no attempt to play the ball whatsoever? So I think Germany might have, I think they missed out on that one. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I did. I thought it was a big loss for Germany, to be fair. Like, is the question like, was it a penalty? Was it not? I mean, it was. But I mean, and there were also like 30,000 fans at Lyon Stadium, which again, we talk about the growth of women's football and like the international fixtures, considering there are only like 700 in Spain watching England, and half of them left during the first game because it was raining.
We're not proper English fans, are they? Just take a big coat with you.
Like, hold on, you're fine.
Get your windbreaks out, come on.
Exactly. Yeah, you prepare for everything when you're an English football fan. Like, even if you're in Spain, it doesn't matter. You take your big coat and you put it on.
Exactly. The rain stop you.
Exactly. You'll dry. Like, it can't hurt you. It can't hurt you at all. But I also thought it was interesting. Alex Popp is a phenomenal leader of that team. And when Oberdorf gave away that penalty, her reaction, she had a go at her, didn't she? She was like, what have you done that for? And I think some teams, especially the way Germany have been playing over the last few matches, tournaments that we've seen, there haven't been the Germany that we've all, come to admire, fear coming into it. So I think, Chloe, do you think they need someone like Pop leading them to bring them up on what, like, those little mistakes that have ultimately led to France taking the lead?
Yeah, 100%. Because Germany, it's like you just said, Germany aren't a bad team. They're a good team. They've got some really good players. They're just missing that drive. They're missing those little imperfections that make them that team. Like, they bring someone like Pop. I mean, obviously we know what happened like at the Euros. Like, she got injured during the warm-up and Germany just seemed like this broken team without her. Yeah. And I think she's that glue that holds them together, and you generally do notice a difference when she's not in that squad.
Absolutely. And I think especially in the tough times as well, you need that leader to kind of bring you through, keep your heads up, and just keep fighting for those points. Absolutely. And with the match that was on at the minute, I don't know if anyone's got a live score.
I do. I'm watching it in the corner.
Wonderful. Rosie, what's happening? What's the update?
Leah Schiller has just gone down with a foot or ankle injury.
Oh,
Got absolutely taken out by Van Domselaar. Don't really
Brilliant.
know what's happening, but there is a break. Well, it doesn't look great.
And is it still 0-0?
It's still level, yeah.
Right. So again, that's going to be from the bits I saw kind of before we started the pod. It was so tight, and I think both of them now they're fighting for that final spot in the Olympics, aren't they? So France have got a spot because they are hosts, so they go through anyway. Spain qualified the other night by getting through to the final, and then it is between the Netherlands and Germany for this final European spot. So Rosie, if you keep us up to date with that score, that would be perfect. I was going to say I've got so many tabs open. It's like, right, what's going on next? But yeah, just being able to watch Spain, and it's a joy to watch them. And I think Aitana and Laia Codina have both said the difference between playing in Spain and England, that just going on for what you touched on, Chloe, there, about the attendances. Oh, what was that, Rosa?
Germany just scored.
Ooh.
They just scored. Oh, amazing.
Just got a live feed.
No, amazing. I love it. So Germany are in the lead there, taking that final spot. But yeah, they've both come out and said, the difference between the attendance in Spain compared to the attendance in England, where we're selling out the Emirates week on week and attracting these massive crowds. It could be a separate podcast, the issues going on with the Spanish Football Federation at the moment. But I don't know, Chloe, what do you think it needs to kind of revolutionise and change how women's football is seen in Spain? Is there anything that you've noticed?
A lot of what I've noticed, apart from the weather the other night, is a lot of it's for stadiums. Like they've not got like custom built stadiums like we do, like even without like the Emirates, Stamford Bridge and all that. The women have these decent stadiums. Like Bournemouth is like a nice stadium to play. Leeds Sport is really, they're like just proper stadiums in a way, like Bournemouth is. Leeds Sport Village, Wharton Hall, it's kind of it's a nice place, but they've got like that kind of stability in that this is their home, this is where they'll play. A lot of the Spanish teams, they're just kind of like the Johan Cruyff where Barcelona play. It's a decent stadium, but it doesn't have that much like population or attendance figures. It can only fit like not that many people in. So I just don't think they've got the capacities to be able to have more fans in attendance, because the women have sold out the men's stadium in Barcelona every other week when they play all the Champions League games, which is incredible to see.
Yeah, so it proves that they can do it. It's just getting that core fan group, isn't it, and building that from the ground up. And I think we're even seeing it now with our women's championships teams. There's that small core group, but if you're getting really small attendances, it's hard to kind of build that community, isn't it? But as we're seeing with investment, that is starting to change. Danny, what do you think? Any other comments on that? What can they do to, or what can change at the top? Maybe. So
no, I mean, so much needs to change at the top, doesn't it? But it's pretty much a whole, like you said, another podcast on that. But no, I mean, the players are doing their bit in terms of getting eyes on it and things, aren't they? But I don't think I can cover anything else off on that. But apart from what they're doing on the pitch is incredible. So the more you watch something like that, the more you think you get inspired, don't you? And girls get inspired, and it all kind of goes from there. From the other side of things, it builds from the ground up almost. If you can see players on TV and doing what they're doing and telling all their stories as well, it gives you a lot of inspiration. So they're doing exactly that at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Johan Cruyff Stadium, just to go back to that, I went last season, and you got to get a train from the centre of Barcelona out to where it is, and then it's like a 20-minute walk from the train through residential streets to get there. And then it's kind of, there's playing fields, extra pitches to the side of it. So you've got to walk around like barbed wire fences, and then you see it on the corner, and then it's impressive, and then it's lovely. But you just think where it is, it's not easy to get to. And I think we see that a lot of stadiums in England as well, don't we? If it's not really accessible, then that's where some of the issues are. And these bigger men's stadiums, you know, they're really close to tube links, or, you know, they're really easy to get to. So that's why all the people can come in.
Leigh Sports Village is the notorious one, isn't it?
Yeah, I had to park at the nature reserve when I went to Leigh Sports Village, and then walk through like an underpass to get to it. Yeah, just saying that. And Luton, yeah, you go through someone's back garden, don't you? And through there for that one. Shawnee's put in the chat, can someone explain the Nations League rules again? I got confused. We would love to. That's a different podcast. All you know is that this kind of period is over now with the final, and then we go again in April, next international break for that one. So oh yeah, no worries at all, Chris. Never spoil anything. That's what we want. We want live results all the time with that one. So yeah, so sorry, Shawnee, with that one. But yeah, hopefully at some point someone will publish something that is easy to follow, easy to read, and that we can interpret and use quite easily. So yes, absolutely for that one. Now, so Rosie was still 1-0. Still 1-0.
Yep, still 1-0.
Still 1-0. And I think as well, if Germany do clinch it, that's going to be such a confidence boost for them after what they've been through recently. Now, I think that is everything apart from what we're nearly here to talk about. So let's talk about our friendlies. There was, again, a lot of them. I think I posted at one point there were 13 matches on one day, and just trying to keep up with it was immense. So let's have a look through these then. So our lovely 2 England results, 7-2 and 5-1, which we will come to talk about. But looking through the rest of those scores, are there any other matches that kind of caught people's attention? Any players that caught people's attention throughout this stage? Chloe, do you want to anything there that stood out for you?
So I watched the highlights back of Republic of Ireland versus Wales.
Yes.
And it was actually the Rain duo, Jess Fishlock and Lily Woodham, who scored both goals, which just proves that even before the NWSL season starts, they're already linking up. So for linking up for country, then imagine what they're going to be like at club level. Wales also have a new manager in Rhian Wilkinson,
yes,
which is, well, considering like how they played the other night compared to now, it's like it's slotted into place. Like they're like, right, new manager, knew this, knew that, let's go. And it was probably such a morale boost for them, being able to get a win for the first time in 10 months.
Wow.
Which is an amazing start in itself. And yeah, it was just so good. Eileen Gleeson made 2 changes to Republic of Ireland side. Leanne Kieran started, who has been injured for the majority of the season. She plays for Liverpool. So it was really good getting to see her back in the green. And the Wales interim boss, he's still managing. I think Rhiann's going to take over during the next window. He made just 1 change. And yeah, Jess Fishlock and Lily Woodham scored both goals. Lily Woodham's was a stunning goal where she just shot it straight into the roof of the net.
Yeah, it was a rocket, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was an absolute rocket, and it was just such a good goal. I was so impressed with it. I was like, whoa.
It's like, where did that come from? Yeah, absolutely.
It's amazing. And good on Wales for getting their first win in 10 months.
Yes, well done to Wales. Again, a nation that maybe a bit underrated, kind of forgotten about a little bit. Because I know obviously with the Lionesses and even Scotland now are kind of raising their game and their awareness and things like that. But I think Wales, if they can perform like that and they can keep going on that trajectory, I think some very, very good things to come for Wales in that one. Did you watch our lovely Italian duo?
I did.
Yep. Now, of course, Piemonte is in the background there with that one. And yeah, if she can just get a clinical finishing back in front of goal, and the danger that we know she has, because that was frustrating, wasn't it? That we're seeing what they can do in the league, but unfortunately on the pitch in that first leg, it just wasn't to be, was it?
No, it just didn't really work out for them. And I mean, I absolutely love watching Yaya and Martina Piemonte every week at Wharton Hall. Like, I'm like a proud mother when I'm watching them play. I'm like, oh, it's my girlies. Like, I just adore them. But someone just wasn't clicking in that first leg for them. I don't know whether it was just the frustration, whether it was like just for not clicking and working. But I love them, so they can do no wrong in my eyes. But just some it wasn't really clicking that well for them in the first leg. But no, I just love them.
And that's it. That's all we need to say. We just love them. That's it. It's done. Yeah, it's good. When we come on to the Lionesses, we can talk about that second leg and those team changes. Danny, how about for you? Was there anything there? Anything that stood out?
Not really. I mean, I didn't really get to see any other ones apart from the England and the Ireland Wales ones, really. Results wise, you look at Portugal beating South Korea 5-1 by that many as a standout. Looking at that, but no, I didn't get to see too much of the rest of it apart from those ones.
Yeah, because it was quite hard to actually find links that weren't really dodgy, to be honest. No, a lot of them, quite a few were streamed on YouTube, which was great. But the only thing about streaming on YouTube is that there's no commentary. And especially when the under-23s were playing, and I think they didn't have their names on the back either, did they? Or one of the other teams did have their names on the back. So you were like, I think I recognise you from Barcelona. I think I recognise you from here, but I'm not quite sure. So trying to like tweet updates and like, Spain? But yeah, so apart from that then, I think all of those results were kind of how we would expect really to go. Switzerland game, now they are Euro 2025 hosts, so regardless of what happens within Nations League and in the future, they are there regardless. And again, I've got some stats about who's going to go through and whatnot when it comes back to it. But let's talk about Lionesses, shall we? Let's get to it. Now, our first up, we've got England, Austria, 7-2. Rosie, talk to us about that one. A 7-2 goal fest for that. Who impressed you? What did you think? Talk to us all about it.
Well, that's just gone off. It was really impressive from the Lionesses, obviously, to score that many goals. I think I was obviously happy to see Hannah Hampton in goal. Maybe not very happy to see it conceded 2 goals. I mean, with 7-0, you'd probably expect a clean sheet. So that was a bit, something happened there. But yeah, I was happy for her to get the start. I think it was a good showing from Grace Clinton, like her debut and her debut goal. Germany scored again. I think that's over.
Again? Wow.
Again. Yeah, I think Grace Clinton just played so well. I was very, very happy for her.
Yeah, I think she's really solidified her place in the team now, hasn't she, as part of that midfield, because that kind of Clinton, Stanway, Walsh midfield was very, very strong indeed. Absolutely. Danny, how about you in that game against Austria? Anything stand out? How about the actual squad lineup, starting 11 for that one? There was a bit of a change to what we're expecting.
Yeah, a little bit. As just to back up what saying about Clinton as well, I thought she slotted in seamlessly. Like, you look for players coming in, you look for them to not stand out in a bad way, don't you? You look for them not to be like, oh, this isn't how it usually works. Clinton slotted in. It could have been anybody over the last couple of years. It could have been any midfielder, like your Stanways, your Toons. She just caught up with how England wanted to play, or how Serena wanted them to play, and how we come to expect them to play. And she slotted in, and everything was just smooth. And that's the best thing you can say about it. Obviously, she got the goal as well, and biggest compliment as well that she was picked for the next game. So, I mean, brilliant for her, and I don't see her going away. Letitia at right back, slightly surprised by, but I thought she did a really good job. I thought she slotted in there really well again. Hannah Hampton, I thought she had a reasonable game as well. Also, Russo as well. We've been talking about the strikers a lot on the other podcast about whether Nikita Paris should have been coming in. I think Paris should have come in for this camp. I thought it's the perfect one for her to come in for. Actually thought Russo did really well for these 2 games. Thought she led the line well. She dropped in when she needed to. I thought she showed again why Serena picks her for England, because she does tend to perform well for England and gets the goals as well. And she's a good fit for that front line. I think for me, arguing the case for Paris was based on goals and based on performances, and I still think there's a case for that. But I think Alessia came in and did a good job. I think Rachel Daly came in and did a good job for the second game as well. But yeah, you can't argue with a 7-2, can you? I expected Austria. We associate them with just being tight, don't we? And that game at the Euros where it was so tight and so tense, and this was just the complete opposite. But yeah, overall, it just felt like a fresh start, didn't it? It felt like new term at school. Let's get back into the rhythms again. Probably the perfect place to do that, with lack of crowd and everything, just to get back into rhythms and get back into a way of playing that Serena wants from us. And yeah, probably, as much as we would have wanted it in England, in front of crowds again, actually to go away and into the sunny / rainy Spain. To all go away together, under 20s, under 23s as well, to get that experience. It just felt like it's a reset. And after the disappointment of the Olympics, it felt like a real reset. And we're back, and we're on the road again for the next international break in a couple of months' time.
Absolutely. And Chloe, anything else to add to that first match against Austria? Do you think Serena, we know she's a perfectionist, so she would have hated conceding those 2, but do you think England kind of did all they could against that quite weakened Austria side?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, for me, it almost felt like England were playing more relaxed. Like I think they've been in competitions back to back every summer for the past 5-6 years. And this year, because this game was just friendly, like they've got nothing to play for. It's not like Fiona Clark Cup. They've got anything to qualify for. Like, it almost just felt like they were like, right, we're just going to relax. We're just going to play, and we're going to really enjoy it. And it just felt like they just stripped it all back and was just enjoying playing football.
Yeah, and when you see, like we were talking about Spain and kind of their flair and their joy, and you want to watch it and you want to tune in and you want to go, right, when's their next match? I want to be there. Can I get a ticket? Can I fly out to Spain? Why not? And it makes it really fun, and it brings back that element of it's entertainment. It's meant to be like that. It's meant to keep you on the edge of your seat right to the very end. And yeah, I thought by opening that 7-2, and I know there's been questions about kind of Zinsberger in goal for Arsenal and then for country, and it wasn't all down to her at all. Austria's defence were a bit dire, weren't they, at times? So she was very, very isolated. So it's another chance for, again, clubs to have a look and be like, right, how are they performing with their country on international duty? And especially with new players being brought into the mix, and we talked about kind of the under-23s training so closely with the seniors. Rosie, what do you think? Was it nice to see the under-23s being so close and then called up to those training sessions as well?
Definitely, yeah. I think it's a really good opportunity for Serena to see how they're playing, because obviously if you've got matches going on at the same time, they can't really look at that as much. But yeah, I was happy to see Aggie on the bench.
I was just about to say, happy with Aggie Beaver-Jones.
I mean, I would have liked her to get a few minutes, but I'll take what I can get. But yeah, it's good because she can just see how those players are playing, and also the 23s can have that experience of being with the senior squad, just kind of like a little taste of what that's like, that they can hopefully get there in the future.
Absolutely, and what it takes to get yourself into the team. Because I think Kira Walsh said in one of her interviews, she said, the whole point of training the under-23s up is that you want them to come in and take your shirt off you, because that shows they're ready to do that and they're good competition. And I think, I know I've said this a couple of times, but if you look at the under-23 squad, the future is so bright for England women football. Excuse me. But yeah, just the fact that not even just one or two, there was 3, I think. Was it Jess Naz, Aggie Beaver-Jones, was it Lizelle as well, from Bristol, I think, was called up. And you just think that's brilliant, because at one point Serena could have maybe been accused of being quite stale and not really changing things up and not really giving players a chance. So fingers crossed we do see some more faces coming through. And the last match that we've got to talk about is England-Italy 5-1. Now, I was looking online and it said that Italy had put out kind of their B team against Ireland for the 0-0, which I was quite offended by, and said they were going to completely change it up and bring on the big guns. And I can't remember who it was. I think Martina might have reshared it on Instagram. She said, there's no such thing as a friendly when you put on the colours of your country and how you're representing. And it's right, isn't it? We might call it a friendly, but no one's a pushover, are they, when it comes to this? And coming into this one, it would have been really good, again, maybe to see a shift in the lineup. And just going on what Paul is saying in the chat, Chiara Keating didn't get any game time. Rosie, what did you think about this second match? Were you expecting more of a switch up, or were you expecting Serena to go back to what she did, more of that senior lineup, as it were?
I mean, there were a lot of complaints that she wasn't rotating players, but the lineups were very, very different. So I think, I was glad to see a different lineup. I mean, obviously, Chiara should have gotten some game time there. Been unreal for City this season. But yeah, I thought maybe there was a case for keeping her with the 23s if she wasn't going to play with the senior squad. But I guess, again, she gets that training, that experience with the seniors. So I'm sure she would have been happy to be there. But yeah, I think there was quite a bit of rotation. Maybe could have been more with Alessia Russo starting again. I do think Rachel Daly maybe should have been there, but she came
100%. Yeah, absolutely. That way, yeah. And there was a moment where, again, from a Chelsea perspective, how do you think Niamh Charles was playing in that match? Because she didn't seem her usual sharp self, did she?
No, I mean, Niamh's had a rough couple of days with the whole social media Liverpool thing. So maybe she was a bit distracted from that, but no, she wasn't her usual self there. Yeah. I think, obviously, as a fan of your club, you want your players to be rested. So maybe she should have started that one on the bench. But it wasn't nice to see as a Chelsea fan her playing like that, because you just know what she can do.
Yes.
And it's frustrating, especially with England fans that don't watch clubs a lot. Like, they might not know what Niamh Charles can do. So yeah, it was a bit frustrating there.
Yeah, and it's a shame when, say, people only see snapshots because it's on ITV and because they don't usually go to matches, like you said, at club and things. And, that's their snapshot of a player. And then they kind of get on the high horse about it, don't they? And start, saying all kinds of things. And that's when you wish people would kind of take a step back and think, okay, I've only seen them in one match. I've seen them for 45 minutes. Can I really make a judgment? Or should I think, okay, I've seen her play like that. Let me go watch her in something else and see, if it's a trend, if that's really her, or if she's having an off day, because she's human. Absolutely. And of course, Jess Carter then came on at half time. Solid as ever at the back is our Jess. Danny, when it comes to kind of the lineup for the second one, how did it feel kind of seeing Kira in that captaincy and really being the one to kind of lead the team, and anything else about that match that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, just coming back to the Chiara Keating thing, I really do think she should have started this game. I don't see any reason why she shouldn't. If it's a central midfielder, a winger, or anything, any other player on the pitch, you think it's going to disrupt the rhythm a little bit, so you can potentially make questions as to why it's not, you're not changing it up. I just think if you've taken her, she's been the best goalkeeper in the league pretty much all season. Why not? It's nothing against the Earps. I love Mary Earps. She's great. I just think it would have been the best thing just to give Keating a go and to see what she can do on the international stage in a relaxed environment. But other than that, Wedman Moy, I think, came on, did really well, scored within about 20 seconds, didn't she, as well? Loved seeing that celebration as well again.
The Izzy celebration, absolutely.
Yeah, the Izzy celebration in tribute to her, which was great to see that come back out again. Overall, again, a bit of a mix, but good to see Rachel Daly come on as well. And I think her goal at the end sort of summed up what the whole camp was all about. It was, you know, at 4-1 up, you can easily sit back and think, I'm not going to go and chase that. But the fact that she's gone and full pelt to go and chase that down, and she's like, I want a goal, I want to go and make this 5, and I want a goal for myself, and to go around the keeper and to stay calm that way. I've got to shout that out, the Italy defender as well, who slid in, and I think she's still sliding now. She's probably on her way to the Atlantic somewhere. It's an amazing slide attempt. But yeah, good to see Rachel wrap it up as well, and Millie Turner as well, just to get her on. Just a great story of someone who's been waiting for the opportunity to come back in. She hasn't played for England in the under 23 level since 2018. She's 27. She might be thinking, you know, is time running out? But for her to come back and to make a debut and to win that cap, everything on social media today has been amazing to see. Her photos with her dad saying we've made it. It's that kind of thing that makes these little friendlies worthwhile, because we can complain a lot about them not being worthwhile, about them being pointless friendlies and stuff like that. But when you see posts like that and stories like that for someone who's quite experienced, and you just assume that she's had caps before, and then you just look at it and think, actually, she's never actually got in. And, you know, to hear that from her, it makes you think, actually, this means a lot to them players, and the time away and everything will mean a lot to all of them. So, you know, brilliant to see that as well. Yeah,
absolutely. Because wasn't it 4 years since she got her first international call up and her first cap in that match? So yeah, it was phenomenal. And you see their reactions when they put the videos up of them receiving their cap and that kind of thing. Very good. Her and Grace Clinton just looked so euphoric. The fact that they finally got their caps, and it's like, that's what it means.
That's what it's all about, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you can forget that sometimes when you think, right, we need to win this because we need to qualify, we need to do that, we need to do that. But actually, it's about the players and their humanity and their journey within it as well. So yeah, that was brilliant to see, and it means so much. Chloe, anything else you want to add about that match? That phenomenal.
I loved seeing Kira as captain. Like, it was just so good. I mean, in the first couple of minutes, she already got a telling off, and it was like, oh, and she didn't even seem like she cared.
Yeah,
it was brilliant. But what I love about Kira Walsh is that she's one of like the more senior players, like been in the squad for a while. She's got like over 50 caps, and she's one of the only senior ones to have never scored for England. Like, Grace Clinton's made 2 appearances and already scored more than Kira has in over 50.
So we're that, isn't it? Because they talked to her at Barcelona about just shoot, like have a goal. You get in some fantastic positions. Don't pass it off. Just go for it yourself. Like have your moment. So yeah, I think we should manifest a Kira goal, shouldn't we?
Just give her the next penalty when it comes up. Just give her.
Yeah.
She needs a goal now, but no, I thought it was a good game. Really enjoyed seeing Aurora Gali play for Italy, because we just love her. And I just thought that England again played well and just kind of had that style that it's just a relaxed, friendly, not a friendly, but it's just a nice little relaxed game, and they can just have fun with it and kind of explore what they want to do instead of just focusing on it being a competition tournament.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think the Scotland game and the last couple of games, they felt like the England that won the Euros. They felt like that just, we're here to play because we love it. We're not here for the expectation. We're not here for anything else apart from let's do what we've been doing in training. Like Lauren Hemp was saying, our set piece coach will be happy because that's what we've been working on. That's what we've been doing. And it's bringing all of that energy and that joy and that practice into fruition on the pitch as well, and without thinking, oh, we're on a winning streak, we can't lose now, because that was a massive pressure for a while, wasn't it, on the team. And they just look like, I don't know, I wish that this team were the ones kind of at the World Cup. They've just got something that bit extra, haven't they now? Yeah, that I think kind of the next, so it'll be the Euros next, won't it, that they go for. I just really hope they keep this momentum and this joy, because I think they could give Spain a good run for their money again if it comes down to it in that one. Fantastic. So the only thing, let's have a look at the comments. We haven't checked in for a while. See, Chris is keeping us up to date. Shula, who scored 2-0, and I was just having a look. It's the 92nd minute, the last time BBC updated their scores, and still 2-0. So unless the Netherlands have a manic last couple of minutes, it looks like Germany have got that third.
They're fighting, but it doesn't look like it. At this moment, I thought there was a goal, and they were calling for it, but it didn't go over.
Ah, right, okay. And again, that's what you want in these moments, isn't it? Is it a goal? Is it not? Lena Hurtig's penalty at the World Cup, for example, was it in or was it not? It goes back down to that moment. And where's it gone? What was I going to say? Yeah, Simon said Rachel Daly should always play ahead of Russo. What do we think about that? Should she, or is she better as an impactor for England? What do we think about that? If anyone wants to jump in,
I mean, I think Alessia Russo is quite a good player, a bit deeper in the midfield.
Yes.
So I think she holds up the ball very well as a number 10. But as a more clinical striker, I do prefer Rachel Daly ahead of her. I think even just coming off the bench and scoring a goal in each of those matches, I think she should start maybe with both of them together, just Russo playing a bit deeper.
I'd quite like that. Yeah, Danny, Chloe, anything that you think should? What about Rachel Daly? What is her position in the team?
I don't think she knows at this point.
No, I don't think anyone does, do they?
I don't think Rachel knows what her position is.
No, just happy to be there, happy to turn up, and happy to do a bit. To be honest,
I think if you're sending someone through on goal, like 1-on-1, I trust Rachel Daly more than Russo. But I don't know. It is a case of they're very different players, isn't it? And what you need for different situations is going to be very different. Like you might need to hold on to a lead, where you might need someone to hold the ball a bit more. You might need to look for a goal, which means you throw Daly on. Good position to be in, but yeah, I don't know. It's tight for me.
Yeah, and I think kind of Rachel's kind of tenacity in her, like you said earlier, like she could have easily gone, I won't get to that ball.
Yeah.
But she ran it down and she's like, no, I'm getting this one. Like, get out of my way, I'm going to jump over you. Like, I will put that ball in the back of the net. And again, I think because this season hasn't really worked out as well as last season did, being Golden Boot winner, I think in our head, again, just assuming, like she's got a lot to prove as, okay, I'm being classed as a forward, I'm being being supported as a forward, I need to prove it, like I need to do it. So the fact that she's come off the bench twice and showed exactly what she's made of has just been phenomenal. Yeah, and again, Shawnee said that as long as Rachel on the pitch doesn't care where Serena plays at, absolutely. And she said that in interviews, hasn't she? She was like, I'm happy. Gives an England shirt, I'll go on, I'll do it. And just a quick one from Simon. He's also put, what do you guys think about Lucy Bronze? I'm not a fan. Simon, wrong people to say that to, mate.
Love her.
Yeah, she best right back in the world, Simon. Unfortunately, we can, again, that could be a different podcast, couldn't it? It's just Lucy Bronze appreciation. And in fact, during the summer, we'll all bring a player and we'll kind of showcase them and be like, right, this is why we love them.
Like a presentation, like a PowerPoint.
Yeah. Welcome to my TED Talk. Absolutely. Yeah, has anyone got anything else before we get on to our final quick little topic we wanted to talk about? Any final thoughts, comments, players, teams, competitions that you might have thought of?
Just invented a competition.
Hey, there's that many. No one would probably notice.
Yeah, I might just make one up. Yeah, just invite 4 countries from around the world to come and play in April.
Yeah, see if they turn up. Just put loads of letters in it and then see if it works. I did want to say before we get on that, so the Euro 2025 qualifiers then. So 15 teams are going to join Switzerland as hosts. There will be, back to that league stage and final tournament playoffs as we've had now. And this is why the next part is important then. So we knew it was important to get as high as possible in the groups. This time round, in order to qualify for the Olympics. The next time round, the top 8 teams in League A, it's into 4, isn't it, directly qualify for the Euros. The top 2 spots in each A group, plus Switzerland if they don't automatically qualify. And the remaining matches will then be played in another home and away round robin style, with relegation and promotion matches. As further 7 teams will qualify from that. Okay.
So, what I'm hearing is win all your
yes.
matches and you'll be in Switzerland. That's what I'm going to follow, I think.
Yes. that's all you need to hear. Yeah, to be honest. Finish the top of your group and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
And you won't be left as we were 6-0 up and still didn't happen with that one. Now, so the last little thing, so thank you very much for staying with us, everyone in the chat. Thank you very much. The NWSL have released their kits for this season, and we were having a little chat in the group earlier, weren't we, about the best kits, and if we could possibly get them in the UK, what we would get and which team we could be adopting for the next season to follow along. So, Chloe, thoughts on this one? What do you think?
Every year I think the NWSL do amazing kits. Like, I'm an Orlando Pride fan. I've been a Pride fan for about 6 years now. Like, ever since I got into women's football, Orlando Pride has been the American team that I kind of have adopted. And they have had a Luna kit for the past 2 years, which I just thought was so pretty. And they've got a new kit this year. They've got the classic purple, but they've also introduced a citrus kit, which has got oranges. The oranges. It's just covered in oranges with like a little green stalk sticking out for the oranges of Orlando. And it looks quite cool, but it's also quite funny. It's just oranges. But
just oranges. Yeah. And it got to the point, I think someone was saying as well in the comments, they were like, why is it that if any other team dared to change their colours, it wouldn't be okay? But the fact that Orlando Pride have just gone, you know what? Oranges.
Just oranges.
More fruits on kits, please.
Yes, that's what we need to do as well. Which fruit should be on which kit in the WSL Championship? That'd be good. What is locally grown in each of those cities? But yeah, Danny, I don't know if you'd had a look at any of these kits yet.
Yeah, it's hands down the winner is San Diego Wave for me. Their kit is beautiful.
Yes,
I love it. It's just so different, and it took me a couple of looks to like fully take it in, but it is like as an ensemble as well. The kit really works really well. I think all of the what they're calling the secondary kits seem quite similar, but this first or home kit, as you want to call it, for San Diego is brilliant. I love it. It's the standout for me. it's
like a geometric sunrise. If you squint, kind of, if you had 3D glasses on, it's a very, it might give you a headache after a while. But beautifully
I get the feeling it's one of these kits that's going to look really good when you see it in person as well. Where you see in pictures and all that kind of thing, it looks good. But when you see it in person, I get the feeling it's going to be really nice in person. But so if we've got any San Diego fans watching that want to send across a shirt, then I'll be
absolutely. And just put into perspective, apologies to Nike for any copyright, but this is the kit in question. This is the geometric sunrise for that one. Because I didn't even know what it was when I first looked at it. I was like, is it DNA? Is it what is going on with this one? Then I think it's a sunset. Rosie, I don't know if you had a chance to look at any of the kits. Did you have one that you quite liked?
Yeah, I really like the Washington Spirit one. It's sort of like black and white, got some cool patterns on it. I don't know, I just think it's really cool.
I like that they've got a bit out there, haven't they?
Yeah, it was just different, like kind of cool, and I don't know. But I was disappointed by Bay FC because the first time in my life I can get a Gen B t-shirt. She's not playing for us now. But no, I think again it might look better on because at the moment it just looks like a white shirt. I
But
think
white, and then, yeah, it's white, and then the away kit's like just black, isn't it?
yeah,
So it's just very much.
odd.
But haven't they called it like light and shadow, or like brightness and darkness, or something? Like they've got really like powerful names. And then you're like, it's white and black.
Literally.
I have to say, again, apologies to Nike for any copyright. The Racing Louisville one, that looks like it should be, I don't know, someone's granddad's jumper, maybe?
It's like a jockey's top, isn't it?
I was going to say that.
Racing, like the jockey, like the racing jockey one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my favourite.
We'll put it on. We'll put like a little flat cap on as well, and then that might go quite nicely. I have to say, I did quite like this blue one. This one was a bit of me.
Yeah,
That is nice.
Can't remember. Is it Rain or is it North Carolina Courage? I'm not too sure. I'll have to double check. But yeah, I was like,
North Carolina.
Was it North Carolina Courage? Perfect. And even Chris has said in the chat, my adopted team is North Carolina Courage. So watch this space for who we support next. Now, I think that is everything that we wanted to talk about. We've gone through about 100 competitions, qualifiers, teams, goals. I have no idea what kits, everything. But is there anything else anyone would like to briefly mention? Any shout outs to any players? Anything at all that we haven't had a chance to mention? Speak now. Forever hold your peace.
No, just looking ahead to this weekend, really. The North London Derby coming up on Sunday lunchtime, which should be fun. And then the fact that Chelsea play last as well this weekend, get back into club football. Man City go on Saturday against Everton, but then Chelsea have got a long wait. If Man City do win that game against Everton on Saturday, then Chelsea might start to feel the pressure for the first time going to Leicester in the evening kickoff. Also, our favourite league in the world, the Championship. Sunderland against Southampton and Crystal Palace Birmingham this weekend. 4 of the top 5 playing each other. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, do catch them if you can. They're on the FA Player most of the time. That's back to the bread and butter.
And how mad is it that we're literally still talking about, the Lionesses have done this, and then it's Wednesday, and then they're back in action on Saturday. That just seems absolutely mad. And especially the ones that are coming back from Australia, that are coming back from Canada, Jamaica, like all of these places. And like, just let them sleep.
Yeah.
Like, just give them a little break. But yeah, Chloe coming back, Man City Everton, first game back. How are you feeling about that as an away game?
That good. No. To be fair, City have been really good, and before the break, Everton finally won a game at home. The Italian duo that we've been praising so highly scored both goals and assisted both goals as well, which is quite funny that they both scored when they assisted each other. So hopefully that'll give them some confidence going into this weekend's game that they finally won. But also I'm just not feeling good about it because it's Man City, and we all know what Man City are capable of and what they can do.
No, that's true. But again, with everything, you just want them to show up, don't you? And kind of put everything behind that badge and just really attack it. And you never know, might be able to have a little attack on the counter, a little Italian 1-2 between them, and off they go with that one. And Rosie, how are you feeling about Chelsea match? Like Danny said, 6 o'clock on Sunday away to Leicester. What do you think the outcome is going to be for that one?
Well, I'm excited. I'm tempted to just book a last minute coach because Emma Hayes has said that Kat Macario should be back after international break.
Is she? Right, okay.
Yeah, I'm hoping that she'll get a few minutes at the end. But at the same time, selfishly, I want to be there for her debut. So if I'm not there, then maybe don't put her on Emma. But
yeah, shout out to Emma because we know she's watching. Don't play her unless Rosie's there. Absolutely. And when it comes down to, so again, looking at Villa, they are at home against Liverpool. And for anyone who remembers, Aston Villa dropped an absolute clanger against Liverpool at the beginning of the season. It's probably the worst they've played. So hopefully Villa have learned something and they come out fighting against that one. That might be quite nice. And the Bescott Stadium, this is how exciting it is, they are opening a new pre-game room called the Locker Room or the Locker. And there's going to be an official Panini sticker swap shop with all the merch out there. And there's going to be food trucks and things like that. So going back to that investment in the game, we're finally getting some kind of life at Bescott. So I'm really, really happy about that. That'd be great. And of course, Sunderland, as you mentioned, Danny, if people only watch the WSL, you need to be watching the Championship as well, because it is so tight at the top and so tight at the bottom. There's probably only about 2 teams that are safe within that league. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Sunderland are at home to Southampton. We did a preview show with the lovely Ant that we've got on the How Weather Lasses pod. And we said it's going to be such a good match, such a tight one. And we just can't wait for the league to come back. So thank you very much all for joining us this evening. Thank you to everyone in the chat who stayed this long. Thank you very much. And Danny, if anyone wants to follow you, find you more outside of the podcast, where can they do that?
Yeah, I'm on all the socials at Danny Brothers. I think at Danny the Brothers on Instagram, if anyone does that. I'm not on TikTok because I'm too old. But if you want to follow our podcast, it's at Cobblers to Me. We follow the trials and tribulations of Northampton Town, men and women, on that podcast. So yeah, do go and check that out if you would like to.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much. And Chloe, thank you very much. Where can people find you if you'd like them to?
So I am on all socials, including TikTok, at ChloeBear529.
Perfect. And Rosie, how was that for your first show? Not too bad after all?
It was good. Yeah, I actually really enjoyed it.
Good. Glad you enjoyed it. And where can people find you? Across all
Rosie Dawson 144 on Twitter and RosieDawson.1 for TikTok and Instagram.
Perfect. And I'm T Freya T Writes on, let me have a think, Instagram, Twitter. Yeah, just on those 2. Or you can catch me and Lindsay at the whole 115 yards across all socials, including TikTok, because we are trying it, because we're trying not to be too old for TikTok for that one. So yeah, so thank you very, very much, everyone. Rosie, you are getting lots of love in the chat as well. So again, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll be back again next week with lots more women's football actions. Thank you very much, and goodbye. Thank you.